Hi everyone, I just got back from this year's HRTech conference and I wanted to record a quick video just to share some of my key takeaways and let you know what I'm most excited for in the coming few quarters and what I think is going to be big in 2024. So this video is sponsored by Recruit Copilot. That's our brand new product that we're launching, really helping to bring more automation and AI into the daily workflows of recruiters. You can find out more, there'll be a link somewhere on the screen around here. And if you have any more questions, please drop them in the comment below. So today we're going to talk about my big three takeaways from HRTech Conference 2023. So the three main themes from this year's HRTech Conference were the importance of AI in HR, the importance of skills taxonomy in order to drive AI, and finally, the importance of data cleanliness and architecture. So we're going to dig into each of those three very briefly on this video. So firstly, I want to highlight the first takeaway, which was, I want to call it the dawn of AI in HR. Now, AI has been bandied around HR for a long time. In fact, when I first moved into recruiting in 2018, I heard about a lot of platforms that were promising to bring AI into the recruiting workflow. Actually, I didn't find anything that really effectively did that. But I think based on the keynotes and based on what I saw on the floor today, we are now at the dawn of AI in HR. So while I didn't get to attend Josh Bersin's keynote speech because I was on the cheap expo only ticket, some of the main takeaways were that AI is here and finally now in HR. And it's going to become more pervasive as we get through into 2024. The stage where AI is not just entering the HR space, it's now completely permeating. And what we'll start to see is more and more platforms will be leveraging AI in order to improve the employee experience and the end user experience and allow people to get more work done, probably with fewer overall headcount. One of the other key takeaways from his talk, I was told a lot about his mention of copilots and how we are going to have copilots for pretty much every task that we'll need to do in HR. So that's a big area that we're personally invested in to try and make the recruiting process more effective. It's why we registered our company as Recruit Copilot. And so I was incredibly excited to hear one of the leaders in the space actually confirm what we believed for a while. So in summary, with the increase of AI in HR, I think we're going to see a paradigm shift, especially as we get into 2024 on the hiring side, as companies start to ramp up hiring again, as churn from return to office actually starts to open up more headcount opportunities. And a lot of the recruiters that were let go in layoffs over the last 12 months have actually moved industries. Only time will tell if this actually plays out, but I think we're in a very exciting time to be in the HR tech space, specifically on the recruiting side. So the second key takeaway is the rise of the importance of skills taxonomy. Now this is especially important when you think about how AI is potentially going to be used. Everything from through career employee lifecycle training to selection of the right candidates to workforce planning. Many of those use cases rely on having a very clear definition of what skills you have and what skills you're missing. And one of the demonstrations that I was incredibly excited to see was the Microsoft Viva introduction of their skills-based taxonomy. And I think what's most important about the introduction of this is that they're actually taking the 39,000 skills that they have already detailed in LinkedIn, so really leveraging the data that only they have access to, and actually bringing it into the Viva platform to make it available to everybody. And in the demo, they called out three main use cases that I think are actually going to be game-changing for anyone currently using the Viva platform or considering moving on to more of an open platform like Microsoft's. So those three use cases are workforce planning, upskilling and reskilling, and integration into the flow of work. And it's the last one that I think is probably the most underrated right now, as if you think about all the different touch points that an individual will have throughout their day-to-day, that's actually gathering more insight into what skills, areas that individual is strong in and where they have gaps. And that could actually help to create a personalized learning plan to actually help to upskill existing workforce, which would be a huge boon to overall training and development, which, as we all know, is a big part of employee retention. I think the significance of Microsoft doing this is that it's actually not going to cost anything extra for any customers already using their platform. If you can compare that against some of the standalone talent intelligence solutions, which from feedback I've received can be highly expensive, you can see that this could potentially become a no-brainer, and we might see many people move away from these newer platforms onto the trusted system of Microsoft. And that aligns pretty closely with a lot of the other feedback that I heard throughout the conference, which is the drive from buyers to actually move away from having a portfolio of tools to a single platform to manage the whole process in one place. So I really hope that Microsoft can integrate this and really start to improve the overall employee experience for everybody. I'm going to be watching this space very closely, and hopefully we'll see some kind of new innovation in 2024. Now, in light of the other two areas we've just mentioned, the third thing that I really wanted to dig into at the HRTech conference was the importance of data infrastructure and organizations that are actually helping not necessarily to build new tools to add to the stack, but actually allow companies to take advantage of the existing data infrastructure they already have, or even outsource the whole kind of data cleanliness and data architecture to a company that can do this effectively well. So the importance of this cannot be understated. We've all heard the concept of garbage in, garbage out, and that applies especially to AI models. If you can't feed good, reliable data into the model, you have to rely on the generic data that the models were trained on. Now, a tool that enables you to actually clean your data and ensure that the data that's going into the system is structured in a way that you can actually take advantage of it and get some meaningful insight out of the AI model is going to be incredibly valuable moving forward. One company that I thought were doing a great job, at least from the demo perspective, is a company called One Model. And what they've been able to do is actually allow companies to outsource their kind of data infrastructure building and help to produce visualizations and feed into various different aspects of the tool stack. So this is going to be a company I'm going to be watching very closely moving forward. So what does this all mean for anyone who's navigating this space right now, whether you're a buyer looking at different tools or whether you're a vendor that's actually looking at how you expand? I think there's kind of three things that you need to really consider. Firstly, we know that AI is going to be dominant. So if you're not already using that as part of your platform or already considering it as part of your tool stack, you really need to start thinking about how you can leverage some of the newest AI while also minimizing some of the down risk. Next, I think it's going to be really important to understand how you're thinking about skills and the skills taxonomy that you're using. One of the takeaways from the Microsoft Viva talk was that they're really thinking about how to open source the skills taxonomy so that anybody can use it. I'm not sure if that means they're actually going to make that skills taxonomy available to third-party vendors. Historically, I don't believe Microsoft has been great about opening their ecosystem, but I'd be really excited to see that, and that would definitely be something that we would look to implement into our product. And finally is the importance of structured data. So if you currently have a data warehouse that you know is clean and reliable, then nothing to worry about here. If you don't, I think you really need to start thinking about how you're going to structure your data in a way that you can take advantage of the latest innovation and not get left behind when hiring really starts to pick up again. So I think the organizations that are really going to win, both from a hiring perspective when that kicks off again, but also from a retention when upskilling and reskilling becomes incredibly important, are the ones that start to embrace and think ahead and think how are they going to use some of these new innovations within their existing tool set. So these are just the perspectives of one person who's only been in the recruiting space for about 5 years, but I really enjoyed getting to meet lots of different people on the floor, attend some very informative panel discussions and presentations, and I hope you found this helpful. If you'd like to see any more of our content, the latest video is going to be published right here. And if you like this type of content, please subscribe. You'll get notified whenever we publish any new content. The subscribe button is just down below here. And if you have any other thoughts or suggestions for future videos, please drop them in the comment section below. I'm really excited to learn more about the space and as we continue to build out our product.